Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. As I mentioned before in a video I made, I believe, past week, your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities enable you to operate in the supernatural. The paranormal is used by people to bypass their weaknesses and vulnerabilities, and it works. But as I mentioned before multiple times, paranormal is dangerous. And it's for your own well-being that I'm telling you, don't be involved in the paranormal. Be involved in the supernatural by agreeing with Christ. That is the rational, that is the real one, the real spirituality. The paranormal is just a cheap counterfeit with many fatal, deadly side effects. Well, fatal and deadly are synonyms, but I use them both to emphasize that it's dangerous. Just like fortune telling, but I already spoke about fortune telling. But okay, I'm going to use fortune telling as an example. Fortune telling, this is just an example, okay, but it happens often. Fortune telling may help you as a young woman to find the right man. What is the right man? The right man is a man that has a job, that earns good money, that has manners, and that can provide good sexual performance, so demons can give you that. They do. But here's the thing. Your expectations of a man are self-centered. They're not in line with Christ. And some of your expectations really don't add up. But you're only interested in self-validation, so the demons will provide you the type of man you're looking for. But the demons will not tell you that, okay, you have the man, and now you need to find a way to deal with the man. And here's the thing, the type of man that you want is a type of man many other women out there also want that man. So you need to put up with competition. But the demons won't tell you all of this. So the paranormal works. When you go to fortune telling, you will get what you want, but is the outcome you want really worth it? And is that outcome going to benefit you? Or is that outcome going to harm you in the long run? It's just something for you to think about. For you as a man, the paranormal may benefit you. If you have bullies around you, or let me say if you have people around you that don't want to face themselves but just want a target, they want someone to blame, that happens, and you don't want to become the scapegoat. But let's say now that you're from a poor household, you don't have much money, and you're quite vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, people can harm you. Okay, that's true. There was this one kid, he was 11 years old, and he didn't want to be beat up by bullies at school because some of those children out of oppressive households, they were leaking out. So his grandfather taught him a magic trick that could make his body heavy, which was paranormal, and it worked. And since then nobody bothered that kid anymore. But this kid was so fascinated by what happened, because he was vulnerable, remember, he had no gun, he didn't have heavy muscles yet, but he did a trick that bypassed his weaknesses and vulnerabilities, and it worked. And let me say, it saved his life. Because when people will against you and come after you, you can die. That is what violence does. Violence destroys, okay? So in this case, because there was a need, he used what he had. He didn't know any better. That's why he used paranormal. But the thing is, the guy was so fascinated by the paranormal that he went further and further, and he became a magician. He became inaugurated into the dark arts, and now he is openly performing paranormal acts and astonishing people. Now demons are using him to lead people away from Christ. Did he intend to harm other people by leading people away from Christ? No, but demons are using him nevertheless. So I'm not blaming people who used paranormal in the past because, well, maybe you didn't know any better, maybe it was the old thing you had. For example, if you are in a neighborhood and there are people after you in a ghetto and you pick up a knife or a gun one day and scare someone, it worked and nobody bothers you anymore. You did what you had to do. You didn't know any better, but it's not wise for you to make your habit to carry a weapon with you. It may have other side effects on you. Now, I'm not going into the gun debate that's in the US, that's going on in the USA now. I'm just telling you, when you follow Christ, you will unlearn the ways of the world. And it's very important for you to unlearn those ways. Why? Because the ways of the world, they do work, but they are meant to bypass your weaknesses and vulnerabilities, while the Lord wants to use your weaknesses and vulnerabilities to work through. So, do not hate on your vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Now, being vulnerable and being weak in some cases can make you a target. It can cause people to exploit you. So There is danger associated with weaknesses and vulnerabilities in this world. I acknowledge that. Think about all the orphan kids that are being exploited because they're weak and vulnerable. Think about, so you get what I'm going with this. I'm not denying that. But when the enemy comes with the paranormal, it seems like an answer from heaven. But the enemy himself has caused through his demons those people to exploit you and harm you. And now that you want answers, the same enemy is sending other demons to lead you in the paranormal. That's how a lot of people end up in the New Age, they end up in witchcraft, they end up in a lot of stuff. It's a good cop, bad cop thing. Now those human beings that harms them and cause them to look for help, they're wrong. But they're used by evil spirits. And those same evil spirits, in cooperation with other evil spirits, are now using mediums to lead them, to trap them further. So look at things from the wide perspective. That's what I'm telling you now. So, agree with Christ, be at peace.